let me take you back to 1977. The vision, when we came and saw this property, myself as a little kid, there were garages here. There was a bunch of weeds here. I have pictures of it was just being weeds. And when we walked up here as kids, my sisters are here today, I said, what in the world are we going to do here? We were on Imperial, right? Imperial in Vermont in a little small theater where things would creak when my daddy would preach. And it wasn't the sisters saying amen all the time. They were dodging some stuff, if you know what I mean. They were dodging some things. But the vision, we came over here that Sunday and we prayed over this land. And the vision then was, first of all, let's build a church edifice, 19,000 square feet in 1977 for a small congregation during the Carter administration, right? 21% interest. Some of y'all got high interest rates. Y'all thought y'all had high interest rates. We built this under 21% interest. But it was a vision of love, a vision of what else can we do besides build a church edifice? So we started construction in 1979. I came up here every single day after elementary school, Inglewood Christian on Marqueece Street there. That's right, shout out to my boy Damian Smith from Inglewood Christian. And it was designed right in my family room. I saw my dad with his vision actually drawing what he wanted to see in the church edifice. But the leadership at that time said, what else can we do? We were already doing 19,000 square feet church edifice in the middle of South LA. But what else can we do? It's a love story. What else can we give? And so the vision started there. 1979, also we started Concerned Citizens Community Involvement. My Aunt Bobby Backus Lanham is not here today, but she was a part of that board. Dr. Billy Curl, who's a minister of the Crenshaw Church of Christ, was a part of that board. Sister Willa Mae Bailey, may she rest in peace, was a part of that board. And the vision was health, education, and well-being. Well-being could mean a lot of things, but for them and for us, it means how can we house some people? How can we give more of this property that we're purchasing to the community? That's where the vision started. The reason was love. Then in 2003, fast forward, I was taken tasked with to figure out that housing piece. So I called my uncle, Bill Lockhart, whose wife is here today. May he rest in peace also, whose daughter is here. His daughter is here today. And I called Brother Herbert Marshall from the Figueroa Church of Christ, used to be a part of the CRA with Brian Bimbo and those guys. And what else can we do? Well, they said, well, Chris, you've got all of this airspace. You've got all of this land. Why don't you think about doing housing here on our site? And I said, well, why not? Let's figure it out. So our first stop was to back then CD8. So we've been through 2 CD8 leaders, and we didn't get it done. We came to the leadership of our president of the city council to make sure that we took this to the finish line. President of Marqueece there, Harris-Dawson. So we found the right time, we found the right leadership, we found the right man and developer, Saki Middleton with John Stanley. We found the right bank, because the bank we had before, you remember, wouldn't let us do this. Bank of America, wouldn't let us do this. They wouldn't let us do it. I don't mind calling out names. They wouldn't let us do it. They said, no, you cannot develop. So we had to find the right bank and development fund to take over that loan that we had. Church Development Fund, Brad Dupree, our partners with them. And then we found the right partners who you'll hear from today, consultants, contractors, investors, bankers, to take this to the finish line. Today, the theme again, vision of love. And now from that vision, today we're not only going to be talking about the property, but now the people. The people. So we have a guest today who's going to tell us their story about the lives that we're touching. We're going to talk to the people that are affecting those lives and helping us do social services. Trillium, thank you. St. Joseph's, thank you. They'll be here to talk to you. God has blessed us. We're here today We started off with a prayer of thanksgiving, and now let's turn it over to one of the men who gave us the atmosphere, gave us the legislation, gave us the funding cycle, gave us the vision. That first investment into this project was from the City Council of Los Angeles. We couldn't have gotten anything else without the approval of the city saying, Southside, concerned citizens, John Stanley, we got your back. We want you to do this. We know the vision. We heard the vision. We drove by the vision growing up in the community. He saw this building being built and said, there's something else that we can do. So we did it. We did it. But I'd like to welcome to the stage your president of the City Council of Los Angeles, President Harris-Dawson.
One more time for our fearless leader, Chris Bacchus, who's been the pilot on this plane. And today we can celebrate a safe and joyous landing right here on Manchester and Dinker. Well, we are very happy to be here today to celebrate the opening of this building. I will tell you, as a council member, I grew up in this community. One of the first things I did, and the council president then was Herb Wesson, and I had run for office, I was all big and bag, and I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm never going to raise anybody's taxes. So the first thing President Wesson says is, you're going to sponsor a bond so we can house some of these homeless people out on the street. And so I authored a bill to put a bond on the ballot to raise your taxes, to pay for new housing, and the city of Los Angeles and this community passed it at 81%. It's a big deal. And once we passed it, the big concern immediately becomes, how do we make sure our folks get a piece of the pie? How do we make sure our folks get to be involved in the process? And we knew one of the biggest landowners that we have in our community is a church. In fact, the largest landowner in Council District 8 is black churches. And so we convened churches. Some churches were already thinking about it and had already done it. There were people who were old pros like West Angeles, Kojic and First AME. They had done it for years. And then there were new churches. And then there was Southside, right here in the neighborhood, who raised their hand and said, we've got an idea that we've been working on for some time. If you work with us, we can get the job done. And here we are at this beautiful facility today. So I want you all to give a big round of applause to the Southside family, Dr. Bacchus, Chris Bacchus. Folks are faithful. And, if you drive by if you're not in church, for whatever reason, if you drive by on a Sunday, you see people coming and going every day, every Sunday, in and out of service. And those people are faithful. They are faithful. Are there members here of Southside today? Just wave your hand. All right, all right. Those folks are faithful, and they come every week, and they've supported this institution, this independent institution. Our people don't have very many independent institutions. This is an independent institution, and they have delivered on behalf of the community. And so now our seniors, which we have one of the highest concentrations of seniors anywhere in the city, is right here in our community. Now our seniors can have a place where they can find housing if they've been chronically homeless, or if they're just ready to make a transition. They're tired of dealing with the front yard and the backyard and the driveway and the garage and all of it. They have a place where they can come, where there are services on site, and they are housed, but more importantly, housed in a community. Because the Southside Church of Christ people are not people who are going to give you an apartment key and turn their back. The family in this community is going to put their arms around every resident of this place. And so that's right. Give it up for them. And so today we'll hear from the investors, from the service providers, from our wonderful developer. But again, all of this story starts with the faithfulness and the commitment and the love of the Southside Church of Christ family. And so with that, congratulations, everybody. I can't wait to get downstairs with my scissors and cut the ribbon on this building once and for all.
Thanks, Council President. Appreciate it. And thanks for all your support, and particularly the staff. Thanks so much. My name is Saki Middleton. I'm the president of John Stanley. John Stanley is a private real estate development company focused on multifamily housing. want to talk specifically about the project today and kind of give you an overview of what we have here and what you're going to see as you walk around. So Serenity is a public-private partnership between the City of Los Angeles and us as developers, Southside and John Stanley. It's a faith-based partnership with Southside Church of Christ, and Serenity is 50 units, seniors, permanent supportive housing, and independent senior apartment project with ground floor commercial space. The total development cost is $41 million. 36 units are restricted for formerly homeless seniors. 13 units are restricted for independent seniors. Serenity is 100% age restricted and 100% affordable. Two key state affordable housing programs were used to finance the project: the California Debt Limit Allocation Committee and the California Tax Credit Allocation Committee. The California State Treasurer's Office oversees these programs. The next speaker I would like to introduce is Patrick Henning from the California State Treasurer's Office. Mr. Henning is a Chief Deputy Treasurer, and prior to his current position, he served the past 4 governors of the state of California in various leadership capacities.
Got a lot of big fellows and a little bit of room to get around, so I appreciate the nimbleness of Saki right here. But if I could just ask you to just reflect, because you guys have seen different leaders come through, folks have come and gone, but your council president is not somebody that leaves well enough alone, that just drives by and keeps going. He's somebody that makes those calls, not just to the assembly person, not just to the senator, but to the state's treasurer. And that is a big part of the reason why I'm here standing in for your state treasurer, Fiona Ma. We contributed to the project at a significant level, but it's because these are the projects that we want to invest in. Saki mentioned, and I very much appreciate you inviting us to be here, but what types of projects that we want to be invested in? Public-private partnerships, what does that mean? It means that he's taken some of your dollars, mixing it with some of the dollars that you use through your tax dollars, through your bond dollars, putting it together and being able to build something as beautiful as this. I feel blessed. I'm almost going to ask the pastor if it's okay if I miss church on Sunday, but I know that he would frown upon that. But coming together as a community, coming together, particularly with all the stuff that's going on these days, particularly around politics, particularly with how hard it is to afford just about anything. I can't tell you. I think somebody was coming to tell me to hurry it up a little bit, so I will. But how much we appreciate you guys coming together here, coming together as a community to show your support for this project, show your support for the seniors in your community, to make sure that they have room not only to be here, but to grow and to continue to give back to the community that's meant so much to them. So thank you all for that, and thank you for this invitation. I'm almost done, but I'm gonna be quick because my office, you go to the state treasurer's office and they give you like 9 pages of stuff to read. So because we're a very thankful group. Treasurer Ma has been a part of trying to grow our affordable housing load in the state of California, as we have seen what that crisis has meant on our streets. Over 20,000 units just in Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, have been built over the past 5 years. Over 25,000 in the county of Los Angeles. There's more to do. There's a lot more to come. LA is a city that is ready for the spotlight, is ready for the Olympics, is ready for the big events and what's next. But we can't forget our communities. We can't pass by a church. We can't pass by this facility and forget what we're trying to do, how we're going to take care of not only our youth, but also the folks that got us to this great place. So with that, and out of abundance of appreciation for being here, abundance for you all letting us invest your dollars in this facility, thank you from Treasurer Ma.
Thank you, Patrick. As I mentioned earlier, the project is a public-private partnership with the City of Los Angeles. Serenity is financed with a $16 million loan from the Los Angeles Housing Department, which includes the agency issuing $24 million in tax-exempt bonds and taxable bonds. The majority of the funds provided by the agency is through Proposition HHH. which LA voters passed in 2016. The next speaker I would like to introduce is Elizabeth Selby from the Los Angeles Housing Department. Elizabeth is the Director of Development and Finance and has been at LHD for 3 years in that position. Prior to that, she was the Director of Housing and Innovation for 3 years in Mayor Garcetti's office.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to start by extending my apologies from Tina Johnson-Hall, our general manager, who is very disappointed. She called me this morning, disappointed she couldn't make it. She actually grew up in this neighborhood, so is thrilled, just beyond thrilled, to see this project. Saki, you touched on it, but in 2016, Angelenos voted to pass a $1.2 billion general obligation bond to build permanent supportive housing across the city of Los Angeles. To date, I think Serenity is our 100th project that we have placed in service. So that is 6,480 units of housing. Thank you, Council President Marqueece Harris-Dawson, for planting the seed that grew into housing so many people. HHH also has another 20 projects in construction right now, so that's another 1,560 units. And then we have just 4 more projects to go. In a human perspective, obviously, that's seniors, that's kids coming out of foster care, that's people who have experienced chronic homelessness, who now have a place to call home. And it is the Angelenos who stood up to vote and voted for their dollars to commit themselves to housing their neighbors. The Los Angeles Housing Department is incredibly proud to be a part of that effort, to partner with churches and private developers to build the housing that people get to enjoy. And my team, including Georgina Tamayo, Tim Elliott is somewhere here, Jeremy Johnson and Greta Matavoyson have dedicated their professional lives to standing up the promise of HHH. We so deeply appreciate being a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Appreciate it. Serenity has 36 units restricted to chronically homeless and homeless seniors. The Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles is providing project-based Section 8 to all 36 of these units. This covers the tenant's rents and keeps it affordable by individual household need, which is really important. That's really the key piece of the project. The next speaker is Christina Lupo, and she is the Assistant Director for Section 8 and Special Programs at the agency. Christina has over 20 years of public housing and affordable housing program experience.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am so proud to be here on behalf of the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles to celebrate the opening of Serenity. This represents hope, stability, and a fresh start for the people who will call this place home. Across Los Angeles, HACLA has committed to ending homelessness through long-term solutions, and Serenity is a great example of that, as we heard this morning. Of the 50 apartments, 36 are reserved for our homeless seniors, and at least half of those are chronically homeless. So through our Home Key project-based voucher program, HACLA has committed $17.4 million over the next 20 years to ensure our housing residents here have a safe place to live. And partnering with St. Joseph's and Southside, we're going to make sure those 36 residents are connected to services as they provide here on site. So as we redetermine the seniors' annual reexaminations, we have the support of St. Joseph Center to help our seniors, our residents, fill those commitments so we can provide continuous housing. I must mention that as we have 20 projects in Council District 8 right now to house homeless families. So I want to thank Council Member Harris-Dawson for that commitment, and so many of the partners here today, LAHD, we have so many partners from the city, the state, and county agencies. And I want to thank everyone, and thank you. Thank you for the invitation today.
Thank you, Christina. Appreciate it. We're going to bring up a lot of the financing companies for the project. And Serenity was financed with low-income housing tax credits. Those tax credits are purchased in the open private market, and R4 Capital purchased $13 million of low-income housing tax credits, which allowed us to build this project. R4 Capital is a national affordable housing syndicator, and I've been partners with R4 Capital for at least 15 years now. The next speaker is Brian McMahon, and he is the Executive Vice President of R4 Capital. I've known Brian for a long time, and he's just not a partner, he's a friend, but he's only a friend when I can get favorable financing, so I'm gonna be honest, you know. But Brian, if you can come up, say a few words.
Sweating because it's such an honor to be up here with so many great leaders. I had my first conversation with Saki about this project in 2018. He called me up and asked for my help to figure out how much of the cost of a parking garage we could include in the financing for residential property. I said, it sounds complicated. But that's the one thing you can say about Saki, is that he does not shy away from complicated projects and putting together complicated deals in order to get housing done. So thank you for Saki for being such a good partner for all these years. Thank you also to the Backus family, Dr. Backus and Chris. I still remember when I was here meeting with you in the church, and your father was there too, and you both told us about how this idea started. You know, it started as a bit of imagination, right? Looking at this property and using your imagination to see what it could be, and now look what it is. So thank you for allowing us to be your partners on this. Thanks also to Micah, who I know is going to speak, who works with Western Alliance Bank, who has been R4's largest funding partner in our 14-year history. So thank you very much. And thanks, of course, to everybody who's been involved in this, all the partners at the city and at the county and at the state. The thing about a project like this is that it can only come together with cooperation of many people, many of whom will never even speak to each other while they are working on this project, but all of them have to pull together to make this happen. Thanks.
Thanks, Brian. So, hey, the next project we got, we can talk about that. Western Alliance Bank is the construction and permanent lender for this project. Western Alliance Bank provided $24 million construction loan to build the project, and it is the purchaser of the bonds. Western Alliance Bank will also, as I mentioned, be the permanent lender long-term, and so they'll have a long-term partnership with Southside, CCI, and John Stanley. The next speaker, Mike Halbor from Western Alliance Bank. Miki is a vice president in the affordable housing group at the bank, and she's been a public finance professional for over 20 years. She also has a faith-based background, which wasn't in her bio, but she mentioned to us, so that's great. But Miki, if you can come up, please.
Good morning. I'm also really honored to be here. That's not why I'm sweating, but what a beautiful morning to gather for the grand opening of Serenity Apartments. In spring 2022, I drove to this site. It was a parking lot at the time, and I considered the plans for this project. So standing here today, it's a genuine thrill to see this thoughtfully designed, beautifully appointed community, which I know includes some wonderful amenities, a lounge, a courtyard, a kitchen, a gym. So many ways for residents and others to come together. How cool is that? Not only has Serenity been thoughtfully built to foster community, but the number of people here today and the number of organizations represented in this morning's program is likewise a testament to community. The community of stakeholders and partners who have worked so diligently to bring this vision to reality. I read that the first worship service in the Southside Church of Christ current location took place on Sunday, August 24, 1980. Just about 45 years ago, to the day from today's grand opening. Think about what this Sunday's date is. It's the 24th. What a celebration and what a wonderful extension of good news. Western Alliance Bank is proud to stand in this company and in providing financing for Serenity to play a role in bringing these 50 additional units of much needed affordable senior housing to the neighborhood. We're grateful for our capital partner, R4 Capital, and we are so pleased to work with development partners of the caliber and long tenure of John Stanley Inc. and its founder and president, Saki Middleton, concerned citizens, community involvement, and innovative housing opportunities. Western Alliance Bank's Affordable Housing Group specializes in delivering financing solutions for residential projects across the country. We are long-term investors, and so we are here today not only to celebrate and cut the ribbon on what has already been accomplished, but to look forward toward a future where these commitments will be built upon and will continue to make a difference in the lives of Los Angelinos seniors for many years to come. Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here.
Thank you. Innovative Housing Opportunities is a partner in this project. Innovative Housing Opportunities is a nonprofit developer with extensive experience in permanent supportive housing. We do a lot of real estate development, a lot of affordable housing, but there's also, a special expertise needed for dealing with permanent supportive housing. We were able to partner and bring Rochelle Mills on our team, to help us navigate, that process, not just the bricks and mortar, but, after it's all done. The next speaker is Rochelle Mills. She's the president and CEO of IHO, and she oversees all aspects of the nonprofit's affordable housing activities. She is a great addition to our team, and in addition to providing that direction, she's also providing the social services to the independent seniors of the project. Rochelle?
Good morning, everyone. In 2019, I was sitting in the office of the Housing Department, and Tim Elliott mentioned to me, would you be interested in partnering with a development in the city of Los Angeles? And he mentioned Saki Middleton. I happen to love a good name. And I thought, I know I've heard that name, we ought to do that. IHO was formed in the city of Irvine in 1976. And when we decided in 2018 that we would move into developing in Los Angeles, it wasn't an easy sale to our board. They felt we were Orange County based and that is where we need to stay. But I was actually born on 77th and Harvard, and I am an Angelino through and through. I tell people I am bilingual. I speak fluent LA County and conversational Orange County. So when we had an opportunity to develop, I remember my board saying, I don't know, Rochelle, do you know anything about Los Angeles? And should we be heading out that way? And the opportunity to partner was the bridge that allowed us to move outside of Orange County. We have a site a couple blocks away that we have tried. I'm going to have to ask the church to pray over that lot. But to think that from 2019 to 2025 that this project got built, it lets you know it is not just a labor of love. It is craft, it is relationships, it is blood, sweat, and tears. It is an honor for IHO to be a part of it. We have a very small role in it, And the thought that an organization as small as ours could have the opportunity to help a project that was so necessary in this community move forward is truly an honor for us. We want to thank Saki and Chris for thinking so highly of us to be a part of it, and the other partners in the group who we know and love and care so much about, the architects, the property managers, the general contractor, all friends of ours. And really, truly, we want to thank the community, because other communities do not support housing, and you did. And again, it's a broken record, but we're honored to be even a small part of this project. So thank you.
Thanks, Rochelle. As I mentioned earlier, the project has 36 permanent supportive housing units. These households receive wraparound services, including assistance with daily living from the St. Joseph Center. The St. Joseph Center has been in operation since 1976, and for an example, they provide mental health educational vocational programs throughout LA County. The next speaker is Dr. Ryan Smith. Dr. Ryan Smith is the president and CEO of the St. Joseph Center in LA. Dr. Smith has extensive experience serving in leadership roles at both the Community Coalition and the Partnership for Los Angeles Schools. Dr. Smith. Yeah.
So I may be hot, but my spirit is hotter this morning as we celebrate the opening of Serenity. And I know there's a lot of things that are challenging in our moment. But as we think about progress, we must celebrate it. So we know this does not happen without the will of people. This does not happen without folks coming together in a vision of love, as you say, Chris, in order to build something in our communities. So number one, give a round of applause for the Southside Church of Christ for having the vision, compassion to do this work. And because I believe we have to celebrate moments like this, turn to your neighbor and say, we did that. We made progress. We did. Give them a high five and say, thank you for the work that you did. Because if we do not celebrate these times, who will celebrate them? So I am so grateful and fortunate that St. Joseph Center can be a part of such a phenomenal project. I do have more thank yous. I do want to thank Council President Marqueece Harris-Dawson for his tireless commitment, not only to this community, but making sure that we will welcome everybody home in this generation and that we are building housing equitably and responsibly. At St. Joseph Center, we support 15,000 people experiencing homelessness and housing annually, 15,000 people. And we are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, which we're really excited about. But there's another 50 I want to celebrate. The 50 amazing units that will be open here. You know, there's a quote we often say, you know a society by how they take care of their children. But I also want to say that you know a society by how it takes care of its seniors. Oftentimes, our seniors who have taken care of us, our elders, our folks who are aging, have held our community together, and as they age, we don't provide the infrastructure necessary for them to continue to live in dignity. So Serenity is an example of that. And the fact that 36 units will be dedicated to seniors shows that this will be an example of the vision of love that you're talking about, Chris. So I'm excited, number one, to be a part of it, for us to be providing social services. We were just talking about it this week. We're going to have waffle and R&B and rap Wednesdays. We talked to our case managers who are super excited about the work. We talked to our entire staff, and we want to wrap our arms around this project the way this community had a vision that it will open. So if you work for St. Joseph Center, please stand up. Give these caseworkers and folks on the ground and outreach workers and people who really care, people who dedicated their lives to ending homelessness in generation, a round of applause. And join us for our Waffle and Rap Wednesdays here at Serenity coming soon. Thank you all for everything. We look forward to the work.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. So today we got an opportunity to hear from all our lenders and investors, and obviously the powers that be, and specifically Council President. I'd like to say all of us on the stage are in this business to serve. I think that's probably the conclusion. Specifically serving rent-burdened seniors. I think that's specifically the goal for this project. At this time, I'd like to bring up, I think, the final, but I think the most important speaker, who is Mr. Henry Bray. Mr. Bray is a tenant at Serenity, and we want to give him an opportunity to share his experience as a new resident. And at the end of the day, everything we did is specifically to serve Mr. Bray. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I listened to everything you guys were saying, and this is a very beautiful place. But it took a journey for me to get here. But when I did get here, like you said, it's beautiful. And where I was interviewed at, that was also beautiful inside that church over there. I didn't see that coming either. And I also didn't see the people that was interviewing me to be as nice, and what they were saying, it really came true. Because see, it took me 3 years to get to that church. And I met some people that really helped me. And thank you everybody. And thank the people that helped me in the office.
All right. Thank you.
In closing, I want to take the time to thank our development team. There's hundreds and hundreds of hours and months of developing this project from pre-construction to construction and now post-construction. First, I want to thank Zheng Yu Zhang. If you could stand up, he's been doing the day-to-day on the project and really working hard to make sure the project reached the finish line. I also want to acknowledge, some of our partners, particularly Avi Shah, Porch and Construction, if you could please stand or wave your hand if you're around. Avi done a great job in, even when we had challenges with weather, just ensuring that we get the project done and really make up time and doing everything we can to make the project look the way it does today. I also would like to thank BSB Architects, Dirk Thillian and Joseph Wu. Particularly, I'd like to thank Dan Withy, whose company was originally BSB and was sold, but Dan was with me from the beginning and, thought I was wild for trying to figure out to develop housing on top of a garage, and Dan's also a neighbor, so it's great to see you. I thought maybe you'd be selling somewhere, so I'm glad you came out, appreciate it. I also want to thank Lottie Titan. If you can stand, he's our construction manager. He dealt with the day-to-day. I like to think of Lonnie as like my armor in this. I mean, he deflected all the arrows and everything else that came my way. So I appreciate that, Lonnie. I also want to acknowledge Tim McCormick. I see you back there. If you can wave. He's been working with us on accessibility, and he's there with his twin son. See you over there. Yeah, appreciate you guys. I also want to thank Diamond West. I think there's someone here from Diamond West. If not, but I want to thank them, our civil engineer. They did a lot of work in trying to figure this project out for us, so we appreciate that. I also want to acknowledge Trillium Property Management. We have Monique Holden and Bob Holden here. They're African-American owned property management company, and they're moving like lightning out there and managing projects, and they manage it from the point of community because they are from the community here. So we appreciate you, Monique and Bob, appreciate you. I do want to acknowledge my family, my wife Helen, I believe she's here, my mom here in the front row. Appreciate you guys supporting us. Have some cousins here, appreciate that. Another partner, good friend, family friend, Rohan Gupta, I believe he's here also. So just want to close with that. I want to bring Chris up to give some closing statements. Appreciate it.
All right. Southside, if you're a former member, current member, anytime you walk through that and said, I'm a member of Southside, stand up right now. Stand up, stand up. We got our deacon, Brother Hooks, our deacon, our minister, Brother Al Wilson. Southside, I just want to say thank you. Keep standing. Keep standing. Thank you for letting us inconvenience you, complain about where are we parking every Sunday, the valet services that we had for the years that we were doing this. We suffered for the sake of this gift. Always remember that, is that you have to be inconvenienced to grow. It's called growing pains. And we thank you for your sacrifice. Some people gave up. But I'd like to thank you, true prayer warriors. And those members that endured, I love you. I love you. I love you. You can have your seat. I wore white today because the groundbreaking ceremony in that 1980, walking into this church building. Remember, we all wore white that Sunday. And I used to hate wearing white and my white patent leather shoes and those white shorts that my mama would put me in with them socks all the way up here. Yeah. I got the pictures to prove it. Thank you, Auntie. But I wore that, and I wore pink because that's my mother's favorite color. And I wore my 40-year pin for the Southside Church of Christ that was given to me at 40 years of service. I've now surpassed that up to 50-some-odd years of service here at the congregation. And I'd like to thank my father, Dr. Backus, with over 69 years of ministry here in this community. I want to figure out a way. I know you see those plaques on different street corners. I want to figure out a way to name this Backus, Dr. Backus Square. Let's talk about it. Let's talk to somebody about that. Yeah. So Southside, that's our next project. I want to thank my aunts, my Aunt Bobby Lanham, who couldn't be here. She's still in Dallas, burying my first cousin. My other Aunt Bobby, I have two Aunt Bobbies. My Aunt Bobby, I don't know if she's Bobby number 1 or Bobby number 2. They argue about it all the time. I'd like to thank my kinship family, my extended family, Michelle, Michael, Keith, my Uncle Keith. Couldn't have done this without you. The days that I had to work, he would be up here opening the gate, making sure that things would happen, keeping going. Thank you, Uncle Keith. She crying. Yeah. So my cousin Ruth and Sheila, we lost her about 30-some-odd years ago. But she's a part of this legacy. We have a library up there named the Sheila Lanham Library for a reason. My cousin Louis, my nieces Sydney and Courtney, my legacy partner, Bill Lockard, who mentored me, Herbert Marshall, who mentored me in development, my Aunt Jean Marshall, Cam, Kai, Nellie, Joel, my cousins, Gail and Ronald Beal, who couldn't be here because of illness, my brother-in-law, Mike, who's a deacon here and a supporter of this project, my cousins, Kai, Kel, and Cole, and their mother, Rava, who passed away. We were going to have this celebration on June 26th, which would have been her birthday. And shout out to my other sister, Alicia Malone, whose birthday that is. But that would have been her birthday. And so my plaque upstairs that we have for all of our guests, it still has her birth date on there. I didn't want to take that off to remember how much Rava meant to me. And my little cousin, Timothy. I'm sorry, y'all. And to my grandmother, Eunice, and my mother, 7th grade education. Pick cotton. Was the smartest woman I knew, my Aunt Eunice, my grandmother Eunice. and I'm thinking about her specifically today. Brother and Sister Burnley, been in my life since before I was born. They sent me gifts when I was away from college that encouraged me, and they're always encouragers. Thank you. Brother Ortiz, another person, our Spanish minister, who again stood here in the days that I couldn't be here. There he is, Brother Ortiz, our Spanish minister. The days I couldn't be up here because I work full time as a counselor at Santa Monica College. So you need people to stand in the alley and be present. Thank you, Brother Ortiz. And lastly, but not least, the Henry family. Bishop Henry was a major part of this, a board member, a signer on every document that we signed together. Our notary, Angela, who has also passed away, would come up here sometimes before I had to go to work. I'd come up here 6:30 in the morning, and Angela would meet me and Brother Henry to sign documents to make sure we kept this project moving and recorded those documents to move forward. It was a part of his vision also. His work and legacy lives on. His sons are my best friends, Kip and Anthony. We got a lot of work to do, and I appreciate your friendship and love. And as we conclude, we'll have a few other instructions. You have a question? Okay, we'll take questions at the end. Oh, wait a second. That's a day. Isn't that a day Lamar from KJLH? Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, since you gave an announcement about this project today, I'll let you ask a question. What's the question?
First of all, congratulations, Southside.
All right.
Talk about it all day long, but I remember when Chris was telling me about this, and I'm always probably busy, I gotta open the church, I gotta do this and that, but so congratulations to you. But you got that huge office space out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's right off of Manchester.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with that?
Well, why are you gonna put us on blast like that? You know. People want to know. The people want to know. So every project you see in South LA, you got the housing and retail underneath, and nobody ever figures out what it's gonna. It's usually empty for. Not us. They not like us. They not like us. So I'd like to announce that yesterday we were able to sign a lease with the Los Angeles Urban League to have a satellite office. Come on up, Urban League. Show up. Come on up, Holly. Come on up. Show us the renderings. Thank you, Ade, for reminding me of that. So after the event, you'll be able to see the renderings. We'll have them posted over there, but you could take a look at what we're going to develop, and I'm going to let the Los Angeles Urban League explain the partnership.
This is exciting. Hello, everyone. My name is Holly Harris-Monk. I'm the Chief of Staff for the Los Angeles Urban League. This is, as Chris said, a vision of love. And I'm representing Cynthia Mitchell-Hurd, the CEO of the Los Angeles Urban League. And Chris's vision and Ms. Hurd's vision has always been a vision of helping seniors as well as foster youth, and they have a heart for the community. So I'm so excited on the behalf of the Urban League to talk about this partnership between concerned citizens involvement, concerned citizens community involvement, and the Los Angeles Urban League. Thank you again to Dr. Bacchus for his tenacity and over 4 decades of commitment of empowering South Los Angeles and the surrounding communities through education programs, health and wellness initiatives, and most importantly, providing a place of worship for our community. The building stands as a testament to your enduring legacy, your father's enduring legacy, and represents an anchor for our community and a launching pad for a brighter and more inclusive future for members of this community. CCCI is a treasured partner of the Los Angeles Urban League, and we look forward to partnering with CCCI to provide future workforce development, education and advocacy programs, health education and wellness initiatives, and more housing opportunities for the communities. This new building isn't just a brick and mortar, it's a space where innovation, education, and community can converge, ideas take root, dreams are nurtured, and futures are shaped. Again, we express deep gratitude to founder Dr. Bacchus and Executive Director Chris Bacchus, who continues to lead with vision and heart. Your generosity and belief have fueled this mission. Together with this partnership, the Los Angeles Urban League and CCCI will continue to dismantle the barriers to provide opportunity in South Los Angeles and surrounding communities. Chris, thank you again for inviting us today. And today you are not just cutting a ribbon Your family is igniting possibility and hope. Congratulations and welcome to your new home, Serenity. Thank you.